The Hamburger. This hand's pretty reasonable. I wouldn't put it like super high on my list of things that I want to keep, but it's pretty good. I like most Tolarian hands that have a Moxen in them. Library go, he says. Slightly awkward, slightly awkward. We do get to double Preordain here, which I like a lot. More Moxen is really nice, so I'll definitely take that. I'm liking where we're at right now. Man, I don't even hate these cards either. I think I'll top. I'm gonna try to chain a bunch of these in a row in an effort to get us closer to dig through time. Yeah, it's fine with me. Alright. So basically, we get to pass the turn with Force of Will and Mental Misstep, and on the next turn, we get to cast Dig Through Time, so really can't ask for very much more from turn 1. Pretty solid. Delver of Secrets, huh? That's nice. Cool. Very cool. So I'm going to crack, and I'm going to cast my Dig Through Time. I can currently hard cast Force of Will, which is likely something I will do. Though I could always spin and force pitching Misstep and have a good chance of going off this turn. Depends on how fast how much I need to do this. We don't know our top cards. The worst thing that can happen is the Delver flips a Force, right? Trying to feel out how I like passing without, or I can spin. I don't really want to spin. I can just blind force this without playing mana. I don't really need a Misstep anymore. The Misstep is really good against Pyroblast if he has Pyroblast in his deck, though. I think I want to go with the more greedy line of force this, pitching Misstep. So he's forcing back. This is game 1, so the best thing I can spin into is a Pio. So we're in a lot of trouble now. The cards on top of our deck are very bad. Alright, we have nothing left, and he's got 2 cards and a Delver, so could lose this game. Delver double force is pretty strong. Didn't flip. That's going to be helpful. See if he plays. Should flip next turn then. We unfortunately are just on top deck mode even with a top in play. So his Delver's flipping next turn. He does have a Volcanic. He has a second Delver. 2 Delvers are flipping next turn. We could just lose this game. That's pretty insane. Double Force will really strong from our opponent. So we know we have a Soul Ring. We can look and see if there's anything that can save us, like a PO, a Brainstorm. I'm okay with cycling a Brainstorm here. I think just one card deeper. Wow, one card deeper got us nothing. Alright, so he's flipping off of Delver. He has 2 Delvers, so 3 turn clock. We have 3 turns to draw a PO, and he has to not draw Pyroblast. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. Wonder if we could have sequenced this any differently. He just happened to have 2 forces and we had 1. We could still have had a misstep. So if we had paid full mana, we would have had Force of Will, and then we would have been able to misstep the second insect, which would give us a lot more time. So we get to dodge Pyroblast this turn. So if we spin and our 3rd card down's a PO, we win the game. If not, we probably lose the game. So we'll have to see what he decides off this Ponder. This is going to put us down to 11, and then on the next turn, he will have 9. So we won't die immediately unless he taps a Bolt. He decided to not shuffle, so he thinks his top 2 cards are going to win him this game. Very possible. We're looking for our 3rd card down to be PO or an equivalent. It was Hurkyl's Recall. I mean, Hurkyl's Recall is a better draw than it's a better draw than the other cards because we can cantrip a Sensei's Top with it. But we're very likely to just get bolted and die here, I believe. We'll have to see. He could also just Brainstorm into a Pyroblast, and then we're in a very poor spot as well. A lot of these things are bad for us. So we'll draw our Hurkyls, we'll spin, we'll see what our 3rd card down is. If it's nothing, then we're just going to draw with top and Hurkyls in response and get to replay our things. Preordain here is weird unless he's trying to hit Force of Will. I guess alternatively he could hit red land. He topped one of them though. So he might have Force Blue card here, which is like nutty, but he could have it for sure. Alright, he played Strip Mine. That's really freaking good. Really, really good. Luckily, we're already pretty set on mana, so we should be fine if we do find it out, but that's really, really good here. So we'll spin. We found a Misty, so we'll definitely leave that on top. We'll tap all of our mana. We'll tap top, and we'll Hurkyl's target ourselves. We then get to draw Misty. Makes me wish I had played my Underground Sea last turn, as we will now be 1 mana shorter than what I would have liked. But can't do too much about it now. We'll play the Soul Ring with our colorless mana, our white mana. And then we'll play the top, and we'll hope he doesn't have Mental Misstep as his last card, because he is not F6'd yet. He's got Mental Misstep as his last card? So he drew Mental Misstep Strip Line. Alright. So our top 3 cards were Opal, Probe, Emerald. We could not win the game, but we gave it our best shot. So we're playing against Delver of Secrets, probably deck Fade-ins and stuff. Urkel's Tinker, Urkel's Tinker Recall, bringing in Fluster and Remora and Carnes, and taking out one Opal. That game's really sad. We had a pretty, I thought we had a pretty large advantage, but our top of our library was 3 mana producing things, and so we did not make it. Little unfortunate, which has kind of been the story of the night, but you gotta take the beats when you get them. So it's been a real long time since I played against any kind of Delver decks. There was a section in time where shops and PO were very dominant on Magic Online, and it brought about a rise of blue-red Delver decks with Eidolon of the Great Revelry, which is a very, very hard card to beat. But it's been a long time since we've seen anything like that. We have a very similar hand to our last game, but it's very good. If he doesn't draw his 1 strip mine again, it puts us in a pretty good spot, I think. We get 2 blue mana again off our Artillerian. We'll start with a Preordain and see how he feels. Ooh, we did draw a Force of Will. I'm going to bottom this land. I don't think we need it. And then I'm going to play this Remora and see if he missteps it. Oh, thank you, thank you. Got brownies, chat. He did have a misstep again, so no Remora for us. I don't think it's right for me to force it, so I'm not going to. Need to get some water though. He had a wasteland. I guess we lose. Yeah. We have to draw and a Sapphire. But he plays a Delver too. Oh my lord. I'm gonna force the Delver. I'm gonna pitch my outcome because it's gonna be hard for us to cast. So our lands are good draws here, and obviously any non-Opal Moxen is a great draw. He is fine. If he missteps again, I'm gonna be real sad. This is interesting. So if I keep both these, there's no shot of me casting PO in the next 2 turns. But if I don't, and he has, I have to keep both these and then hope my 3rd card is really good. I guess I should not play that Tundra. That was very bad. Don't play the Tundra there. It lets him draw another Wasteland. Or Strip Mine. That was a quite a bad play. Quite bad play. Young Pyromancer is a really good follow-up to our sequence of plays. So basically I'm looking for 1 more Moxen and hoping he doesn't have a counter magic by the time we get it. We also have to hope he doesn't play a DAC here. We also have to hope he doesn't play a Shattering Spree here. But it looks like he's going to do one of those 2, and which means we just lose again. Might be safe for a second. If we had 1 more mana, we would be in a pretty good spot versus both a DAC and a Shattering Spree, as we would be able to protect them with a PO. Seeing as we don't, we're pretty weak. But it seems he's just chained Preordains, which is not the worst thing that can happen, but it also doesn't bode well for us either. He keeps leaving 1 on top. If he taps out here without a land, it could be very good for us if we draw Moxen and he doesn't have Force of Will. So we have another small window, it looks like, this game where we could try to draw off the top of our deck and win the game, but we're going to have to see where it goes. All based on the top of our library again. he chose not to shuffle, so he certainly thinks his cards are good enough to win in the game. I'll have to see if that's true. We draw Snapcaster Mage. Snapcaster Mage is a medium draw, but not a bad one. Let's see if he decides he wants to force it. It seems clear that he drew Force of Will off one of his preordained train. I don't think it's unreasonable for him to want to force this. And if he has a misstep, it's pretty bad. Okay, so another Force of Will. So we die in 3 turns currently. He has one card, and off the top, still a lot more ponders and stuff he can draw. Time Walk does not kill us yet, but any additional creatures will be a problem. He's drawn pretty good. So we're gonna get one draw step where we have to draw Moxen and hopefully go off. It's not unlikely, but it's unlikely when in combination with him not drawing cards, any cards that matter. He's down to 1 card left, so we dodge a whole set of cards just like Force of Will. But we need Time Vault or Moxen or another power card like Ancestral or something. We drew Crypt, which is pretty close to one of the best draws in our deck. So he's not F6'd, which is scary. Flusterstorm beats us. Pyroblast beats us. Snapcaster does not beat us. But we don't really have the luxury of playing around actual anything. So we're going for it, chat, and we'll see where we end up. Yep, Pyroblast. Yeah, can't catch a break tonight. Not one break to be had. That deck is just one of the harder matchups for PO. It went away a bit recently, but I just played my spells out, and they're not good enough because the way his spells line up against mine is very strong.